order. We say, well, if they get healed, everything else will be all right. It could be that the physical affliction is simply a symptom of a soulish problem that has not been dealt with. It is interesting to study the stress to study the stress test that okay it is interesting to study the stress test you can take bro test you can take to see if you are at high risk for sickness, such thing as divorce and death of a loved one or losing a job. All the emotional explosive situations, these are said to bring high risk of sickness. Proverbs 18:14. The spirit of a man will sustain his infirmity, but a wounded spirit, who can bear it? Nigga, who can bear it? Nigga, who can bear it? Nobody can bear it, bro. A man's spirit, when it is strong, it will sustain many physical wounds. We all know people who because of their illness should have been dead, but because of their strong spirit they lived. However, when a person's spirit is wounded, how he can't handle anything else. Even the most insignificant problem seems overwhelming. You can be physically weak, but your spirit is strong. Eventually your body will get well. But when your spirit is broken and hopeless and hurt and disappointed and rejection takes over, you can be destroyed not only emotionally, but physically. Proverbs 17:22. A merry heart does good like a medicine, but a broken spirit dries the bones. When your spirit is broken, it can affect your physical body in many ways. Many emotional ill people are being treated with drugs because their brain chemicals are out of balance. Medicine science takes the view takes the view that many cases of paranoia or schizophrenia are a direct result of a chemical imbalance. I believe it is possible, and I also question if emotional state people are in has actually created the chemical imbalance. The emotional state, right? Talking about the emotional state is what's actually creating the imbalance. And if you know anything about the Lord, right, we know that the spiritual realm is actually what makes the physical. Nothing actually happens in the physical. Everything happens in the spiritual, and that falls into the physical. The physical is the effect, right? The cause is always in the spiritual. The effect happens in the physical. So, if you didn't know that, now you know that. You know what I'm saying? Wow. But yeah. Um, yeah. When your spirit is wounded, the chemicals in your body will be affected and will change. Your heart may beat faster or your blood pressure may go up, among other changes. In order for you to stay well, your soulish area must prosper and be healthy also. The walls of your soul must be built up with no holes, so that your spirit is continually protected. Guard your spirit from attacks of people. When I first went into the ministry, it is a miracle that I was not destroyed. I did not know how to keep my walls up and repaired. I thought, here I am in the middle of God's will, doing what I'm supposed to do. Therefore, everything should be wonderful. Everyone will love me. It's just wonderful being in the center of God's will. You know, yeah, no. I didn't have my walls up to protect my spirit. I took quite a bit of verbal abuse before I learned that everything was not so wonderful. My decision-making power had slipped and wasn't exercised too well. After a meeting, I would walk off the platform excited about what God had done. And someone would say, I don't believe a word you said. I don't believe in women preachers. Don't you know that you are going to hell for preaching since you're a woman? Wow. I know that hurt. Bro, I know that hurt. Even worse things, right? Even worse, right? Who said women can't teach? Even worse things than that were said, but I'm not going to repeat them. I didn't know what to say. I was not prepared. My walls weren't up. I didn't even know how to deal with that. I knew it wasn't right, but all the joy of God had just went away and had done in the meeting that was gone, bro. It was all gone. I went into deep depression over it, and I was allowing other people to govern my